Hot on the heels of our first Gildenberg Apocalypse 5 win, it's time for us to return to Lakeburg and see if we can once again complete Apocalypse 5. So let's get on into it without further ado. And Jacob, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. This should be an interesting one. Ooh, so the new music, not isolated to the new map. And I'm digging it. So it looks like we have a crossbow, a sledgehammer, and a power staff. Not the stuff I would choose. And wow, can we talk about the concentration of sensors over here? This is going to be a spicy one, but let's learn what the cast of characters we have here is. So Miguel is our melee. They are a scholar, they are stiff, and they are wise. Those are pretty much all a wash. I wouldn't say any of them are particularly bad, but also not great. This shirt looks like not something I want Miguel to be rocking. The silver sledgehammer, though, is decent. Our crossbow friend is Stormy. She is a marksman, which is excellent, vulnerable, which is not so great, and discreet, which is pretty solid. Her daily mana regen is very low, thanks to this pair of boots that I will probably not put on anyone. And this worn medium armor is surprisingly decent, with propagation bounces on it. That's interesting. We'll probably put the worn heavy armor on our melee, but let's see what Rolando has up his sleeve. Dancer we love on a non-melee character. Energetic is nice and smart. So Rolando is a strong contender for being our best character, I think. We have a couple of kettle helms. I'll probably just leave this here. I think Rolando is the second most likely to take any hits. I'm very nervous about the amount of minus mana regen that we have coming into this. Like, the spiked boots here, I think I'll take the 2. 6 is a reasonable place to end up. But this one, the Swift Elven boots, probably not worth the mana regen. I'd rather be able to spend the 5 mana and regen it. And then, well, we do have a lot of mana regen here. I'm going to move the cape over to here. But I think that's about it. Oh, and we need to check out perks now, because we have to learn about our characters. So we have... Oh, Zach, have you not been here for a Last Spell stream yet? So Last Spell is a favorite of mine. This is a tile-based, turn-based strategy game that almost has kind of like a They Are Billions type of vibe to it. You have characters, they have statistics and equipment, and they have perk trees, and these perk trees were just overhauled. Everyone has the same melee, casting, and ranged perk trees, but then they have two columns that change. This character has what I'm going to call assassination and poison. This character has the defense and poison trees, and this one also has the defense and poison trees. So I think a lot of human ballistas are in our future. Oh, trust me, Zach, this game is cool. I am a big fan. We're playing on the second hardest difficulty, and we've been struggling with it, and this may be no different. This one may be another struggle, but we're going to give it a go. And I think we've done all the preparations. We understand our characters. I'm not sure I'm super excited about our characters' builds, but I think it's time to rock and or roll. Now, the big thing to remember about night number 1 is all of the enemies have more movement. Okay, so they seem to be coming in largely not behind the mist sensors, which is good. The mist sensors remove line of sight, so they are annoying. How far can we retreat? Ooh, we do not have a lot of movement on this character, so I'm going to be just taking out those that I can. So the systems at play here, Zach, to catch you up to speed, is you have action points, you have mana, and you have movement, and you can kind of figure out where each of those things come to roost. I think We could try and get to this guy, but we wouldn't have the ability to retreat. So I'm just going to armor up and fall back to the wall. Now you have a lot more movement. So I think we can move to here safely. Yeah, and we can get some power staff hits off. And I might actually, given the movement that we have, I think I'm gonna, this costs 1, so we'd have 3, 1, 2, 3. I think this is safe. All right, it was safe, but it was not in the cards. Let's get our crossbow person over here to just snipe some fools. Oh, that was all your movement. Wow, we have a mobility problem with our team for sure. All right, and I think that's gonna be all she wrote. So in the early game, eventually you get to have 2 weapons, which is mighty beneficial. But for now, we only have 1, which means we're leaving some action points on the table to no one's surprise. Okay, this is what we like to see. Kind of. Okay, so let's see. So I'm gonna try to go in with a... Yeah, get some visibility here. And then... What's the debuff pattern that we want to go with here? I think this is pretty good. We can then use a Scorching Wave to secure those kills. Looks good. Should have probably used a heavy crossbow there. The crossbow packs a nice punch for sure. And I think... Yeah, so it has kind of a Frostpunk deal. So the mages in the middle are channeling a spell, and that's the thing that you are trying to protect, is the channeling of the last spell. Let's see. Where do I guess I can probably come over here one and use those to clean up. All right, so let's see. We can... Now we have some mobility here. If we move over to here, we still have plenty. So let's... All right, let's do that, and then we get 1 dodge off like that. So basically it's a their turn, our turn type of system. And we got lucky because there's a whole bunch of different enemy types, and the main thing that you run into at this highest difficulty is... the speedy boys are particularly difficult to deal with. Okay, so we get you and we get you. We have 1 more. No, we used up our last heavy bolt. Okay, let's have you finish this one off. Yeah, let's get those guys out of the way. We're going to need to do a little more work over here. We have 3 action points left. That's not really enough to do much, even if we transfer over there. Let me get rid of this guy. So who's getting in here? Okay, yeah. So we can move to here, it looks like. And then I'll just soften some baddies up, I think. And then we'll move back 1 to avoid taking any damage. And then we can take 1 more step in, I think. This is just so tempting. We have 9 mana regen. We're at 28. We can afford to do this once. And we're not going to get a much more maximal attack than that. That gives us a lot of flexibility. So let's see. How far? We're not going to be able to see around that wall. Yeah, so, Zach, once we... it's going to take a minute to spin up, but the... Oh, really? You're going to dodge my stuff? I don't like that I... Oh, actually, that's pretty good. Let's do that. Get rid of those 3. So there's a whole, like, economy thing that you will get a better feel for once we get over to the daytime phase, and it kind of goes in nights and days, and there's a set of pips, these here, that is how long it takes for the mages to work their magic. So we're just stalling until they can until the good guys can do what needs to be done. Okay, so gonna move you forward. Can you point blank this? No, you can't. If I move you to here though? Let's move you forward. Okay, and then if we move over to here, we can soften up some of the more imminent bads. Okay. Now I'm going to try to... missed the stun there is unfortunate. Where are we going to get... No, it's not going to work. Okay, so we definitely need to do some work over here. So let's reallocate ourselves. Yeah, now we're spending mana that we don't have, but that may just be how it is. Let's not move to there. Luckily, there is an undo button. Hey, Cassie! Oh, you can? That is my lucky day. Welcome to the stream, for sure. We're going for that elusive Lakeburg Apocalypse 5 win. So we'll see how this one goes. But I'm gonna do a bit of body blocking and hope that it works out to my advantage. And then I don't see us being able to utilize our friend here too much. I kind of want to get the blocks though. So I'm going to do that and then plug up this hole. Okay. The walls, they take some damage. So these are the mist sensors. So normally the mist is this border that surrounds the map, Zach. And the mist sensors are added at a higher difficulty level, specifically Apocalypse 3, and they are destroyable and increase the quantity of visual that is limited, basically. I think Cassie also hit you up with a little bit of an explanation there. Ooh. That was very disappointing right there. We have 5 movement, which means we can't jump over and come back, which is very unfortunate. Did you really just dodge my punch? You are the worst. Okay, so let's see. I'm holding down Alt, by the way, to get a preview of where I will be able to hit or not hit, as the case may be. Let's ground smash that. These are my mana using abilities, as a side note, which are... you have to be sparing with them, because mana does not grow on trees. Let's see, how much movement do we have? We have all 6 of our movement points. Now we have 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we can get back to here. Let's do that. And then who still has actions? You're regenerating 5 mana, so I can actually probably do a little bit of damage. But yeah, the last spell, Zach, I have been having an amazing time with for a long time now, actually. This game has been a favorite for quite some time. All right, and I think I'll just armor up here, and we will hope that the remaining baddies don't do too much harm. Okay, looks good. All right, I like what I see. They are destroying our defenses, but we can rebuild them. We need to be careful. There is friendly fire in this game. And you can also see the dead zone around our character. You need to move one more. I can probably... All right, I'm just going to use a punch to get rid of this one. Don't punch yourself. Oh my gosh. What is this guy? 5% dodge? This is outrageous. So this is still in early access, Zach, and there are definitely some facets of it that are in need of work, to be very charitable about some of the issues. The mist sensors in particular are one of those things that are arguably more frustrating than fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tank this guy here, and we are going to start working on almost killing the mist sensors. We don't actually want to kill them. We just want to get them close. Which is something that you will find over time. But just wait, Cassie. Our first level up, we're gonna instantly be rocking 12 range on our sledgehammer user, and it's gonna be as glorious as it always is. So I have been extremely impressed, Zach, with the quality of this game. It's made by a developer called Ishtar Games, and they have done a beautiful job. And the most recent patch, so you'll see more of this as we go, but this perk system is very, very, very smart and has added a huge amount of replayability to the game. So highly appreciated. Let's see, and then I think we can drag this guy out a little bit this way, and then we'll be able to do some work on these mist sensors. Yes, Jacob. So the strategy that I have worked with, that actually another viewer, Canuck Bear, has helped to develop more. Hey, Gris, welcome. Is the mist sensors, killing the mist sensors means that they will regen in 3 nights. But if you get them down to like 1-ish HP, like 74, basically 1 hit away, then you can kill them in subsequent turns when you need to kill them. And you can also just leave them on low HP until you need to kill them. So it's this, it's a very smart way of handling the mist sensors, because sometimes you might say, we might never get attacked from the northeast, and so we might be able to leave these 2 mist sensors on low HP until the very end of the game, which is super convenient because this process that I am currently undertaking is laborious. Having to knock down all these mist sensors is not my idea of a good time. There we go. We'll do that, and then we should be able to do most of the work on this mist sensor with our melee character. We just have to be careful. We're basically cheesing it, because normally what happens is, as these enemies enter our town, they start to generate panic, and panic harms our ability to get nightly rewards and the amount of resources that we get. So we don't like that. Now 274 I think is low enough that we want to punch, because I think we had a 300 crit. And killing the miss sensors is an unfortunate thing that we want to avoid. Oops, let's move to here. All right, that's our turn there. Now we can move one more, and then if I move to here, can I move back? Yeah, okay. So we'll get our punches in with this character. There we go. I like to get them below 100. That's my sweet spot for getting that nice one shot. But as you can see, the miss sensors are like a game mechanic that you have to play around, but they're not super rewarding in my experience. Like I don't feel like you get a lot of like interesting gameplay out of them. They're just very labor intensive. So you're good, you're good, you're good. All right, so we're still working on this one, yeah. Now there is a fast forward mode. I don't use it because it looks hideous, which is no fault of the devs, but it looks like this, and it's just super twitchy, and I don't like it very much. So I choose not to use it. Sometimes if I'm using the multi-crossbow, though, the multi-hit hand crossbow, I will, because it has particularly long animations. But yeah, we're gonna circle our encampment, making sure that all of the miss sensors are actually. We're gonna go the long way around. We're gonna come this way, around it. Make sure all the miss sensors are on 1 HP, so that if we need the vision, we're ready to go. The crossbow is not to be underestimated, though. It puts out a lot of damage. I think we had a run recently where we had a legendary crossbow that was pretty exceptional. Now, 40 to 50, I think technically we can crit for 100, so I'm going to leave that one as is. And we're down to just 2 miss sensors. But you can see, this guy's only hitting our ablative HP, so we're in no danger, and we can kind of do this endlessly. All right, that's good enough. You've already moved. But yeah, the polish on this game is exceptional. Like they're doing a really good job, and the perks overhaul in particular has added so much variety to your runs because your characters are so diverse in a way that they previously weren't. 124, we give you a little punch. Each character feels very unique. Yes, there is Cassie. There is a... I think it's just called Mist as the modifier. But there definitely is a Mist enemy type. The thing that I have suggested before, let's just check to make sure all these are good, that I've suggested before that I think would be interesting is rather than having Mist sensors spawn once and then regenerate, so you can do this, have them expand and contract their radius by being hit. Basically, what that would mean is that the Mist sensors, you would have to be sinking a certain amount of your action economy into reducing their impact over time. Now, we didn't do a great job spreading kills here. I should have really given more kills to Stormy. So we lost out on a little bit there, but we're in pretty good shape going into the next night. We have 2 levels up on some of our folks. And so for getting a perfect there, and perfect is because we never let any enemies in to our walls, we get a night reward, which is very important in these early phases. We get a legendary hammer. Yeah, that's almost certainly what we're going to take. Has a bunch of stun chance on it and a few other things. Steel pistol, not interesting. Magic boots, not interesting. So we'll pick that up. And our melee gets their second weapon. So you use tab to cycle through their weapons. So weapons are what determine the abilities that a character has, which I think is also a very smart system that was implemented here. Now, we have the same starting setup that we usually do, which is there's 2 houses. So we're going to spend some of our initial gold to upgrade each of the houses. That gets us to 4 workers. Workers are used to tear down ruins. So we tear down that ruin, which gets us back up to 150 gold, which allows us to build more houses, like so. And then generally I stop here. How much do we get for this one? We get 48. So you'd spend 36, get 48. We'd still be up 10. I actually think we upgrade one of these, and then with our 3 workers, we tear down another ruin. And then this is the controversial thing. And all of these things are very like church and state. Everyone has their own ways of playing. But I like to then make sure that with the remaining gold from our first night, I get some weapons for our remaining characters. Mithril Shortbow is nice. So the Novice's Tome is cheap. So we'll pick that up. And then that Paladin Shield is quite nice, but actually, there are lots of things that are quite nice. I'm going to sell these boots. They're not going to get used. An action point momentum. Woolen armor, momentum on woolen armor is not that interesting. The Paladin Shield would be huge for the survivability of our melee, but getting those second weapons is always my priority, and short bows are very strong. So we'll equip that, and we will equip the Tome of Secrets. And now we have some level ups. And actually, before we do level ups, there's a second material that you get from the night, and you can also create scavenger camps to help out with it. But that is like basically building blocks. I rarely spend my building blocks on many things, but I will almost always build some catapults. They are 2 charges per night, and they have a large boulder that they hurl that does a bunch of damage. Very good for softening up enemy waves, which can be very important sometimes. You can also build walls, teleporters, watchtowers that improve vision, so on and so forth. And I really like being able to build those things. I just don't find that at the higher apocalypse levels, they necessarily pay off. So onto the level up system. So each time you are given a choice of 5 primary attributes and 5 secondary attributes, and each level up comes with a primary and a secondary attribute. So this is our melee, and our melee was not very fast. Actually, oh, it's your gear. Okay, so I'm going to pick up some movement points to get them a little more mobile. Movement points are almost always good. And then if you don't like what you get here, you can hit it with a reroll, and then we'll take a physical damage bump. Then I like the blue means it's a higher tier of quality. So I'm going to pick up a daily mana regen just so we can spend more aggressively. And then what's our crit sitting at? It's sitting at 14. So we could go for crit power. This increases the damage that is done by our crits. What's a perk we're going to take here? It's likely back protection. Let's roll it. Reliability isn't bad. Reliability shrinks the damage range of your weapons, and a blue reliability is pretty good. And then back protection, when we are standing next to an obstacle, we get more armor, which will be good, very good for our survivability. So we'll pick that up. That's Miguel done. Now on to our ranged character. Our ranged character gets a big crit bonus. Love to see that. And I almost always like to take some accuracy early, so I'm going to take that. Our ranged character only got 1. Steady aim is a great skill. Remains kind of an A-tier skill, in my opinion. So I'll pick up that. That's going to increase the area of influence that we can affect with our abilities. And now for our caster. Our caster has pretty low base critical in general, but I'll pick up a nice crit bonus. And then, are we going like full crit? Nah, we need some magic damage here, I think. Oh, did I miss one? It'll warn me, but thank you, Cassie, for reminding me. And then I don't think I'm going poison here, so I'm just going to pick up accuracy. Oh, all the accuracy? Yeah, we'll just never have to take accuracy again. Mana growth is the bad one. Sorry. Sorry, mana growth. And I don't really like any of these. Quick reload is interesting. I've never really used quick reload too terribly much, but I think it's cherry picking. And then for a second one, I love First Blood. Glass Cannon is also tempting. Oh, we could have a crazy crit build here, couldn't we? Yeah, we'll take First Blood because critical runes, not that valuable in my book. First Blood, much stronger. And then, yeah, I missed one here. Ooh, we could go for... do we have the organic tank? Do we have the organic tank perks? We have blood magic. But do we have... No, we don't have the one that that increases our hit points substantially. Blood magic helps a little bit, but there's one that is literally called organic tank that I think is probably important if we were going to go for like a bodybuilder build. So I don't think we're going to do that. I still want flexibility to work, but I think Avid Learner is the play. Just to get those level ups faster. All right, so Miguel is all caught up. Stormy was like, what? Experience 222 out of 293. That's not as close as I thought it was going to be. I'm going to save the rest of our building materials. So I think that's all she wrote. And then next turn, we're going to build the Seer, which is going to give us a little more breathing room. But for now, let's get you back protectioned up here. And we'll destroy these sensors as we think we need to.